Thwip, 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 thwip. It's a Spider-Man Sunday. That's my intro to Spider-Man Sunday. What's going on, guys? Today's the first official Toychanic Sunday. Whatever you want to call it. The live stream. I know I'm always jumping around. You guys got to try to find me. I'm like a Spider-Man villain almost. I'm like the Spot. Like, you never know where I'm going to be. No, it's been crazy. Just trying to find a day that really works. Well, now I'm trying to find a day that works for me, although it should be for y'all. But Sunday seems like a pretty chill day, and so here we are. Not brought to you by Pop-Tarts. Those are just there. I mean, if Pop-Tarts wants to sponsor me, I can add a little more, to this barrel here. But no, so what we've got today, and also welcome my man Samurai Chris and Ori. It's probably just gonna be you two today. I could have just done this on Discord and we could have chatted it up. Actually, at 3 o'clock today, after this stream's over with, I'm gonna probably hop over to Discord. I got a lot to do in this room. I got more stuff to repair, so who knows what I'll be up to. And for the patrons, we'll be having a chat over there if you guys are available. So yeah, let's get to it. This is wild. I don't know about wild berry Pop-Tarts. I mean, those are all right, but man, I found some raspberry, which I actually didn't know existed, and they have quickly climbed the ladder for best tarts. They're pretty damn good. Anyways, I don't think I've ever seen this before. The Spider-Man right here. I think this is a 12. Wait, I have a ruler. Oh, I actually have a tape measure. I have a ruler as well. I also have one freaking ruler right. It's like on my desk. What is this, like 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 12-inch. I thought so. I didn't think he was 18. Looks like one of those crazy. I don't know what you call these guys. They're like usually really hollow, a light plastic. I want to say I used to have a Venom. But it was a comic Venom that was built like this. He was super cool. I kind of regret getting rid of that one. But looks like this arm is broken off, as you can see. So, Chrisman's able to make it now. And it's like, what? It's like 9 o'clock right there, Chrisman? You don't have to like be all sleepy. You can actually make the live streams on Sundays. That makes me even more happy. That's 2 patrons in here. That's crazy. Well, that makes me really happy. Cool. Alright, so what I gotta do here is we're gonna heat this up. I'm not sure what this is actually gonna look like on the inside here, so... Chrisman, just you're tuning in. I was saying after this at 3 o'clock, I'm only doing an hour streams from now on, but after this I'm gonna hop into our patron Discord channel and do our usual chat it up in there. So if you're available, man, please join us for wackiness. Oh wow, look at that. It just broke clean off. Hang on. Man, I wish I need to get like a head camera, like a little GoPro on my head so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I don't really care how ridiculous I look. It'd just be a cool cool shot. Okay, yeah, so this is pretty standard. I'm surprised this broke off. This seems to be like a pretty simple fix. Although I'm noticing that there's like a... Weird. Right, man, I wonder if I could... I bet you anything I've already lost my remote. Although a lot of times this will work pretty well, this camera right here. If you could, oh man, I wish the light would hit it. There's a little divot. Oh my gosh, where am I? Gross fingernails. There's a little divot there. It looks like a metal piece in the dead center. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's like right there. Man, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. It's right in the dead center of the freaking arm that broke. There's like a tiny... I can see it really well right here. It's like a tiny metal piece, so that makes me nervous. I don't want to drill into that. It's like... Just trying to get an idea as to what It doesn't look like the client didn't try to fix this or anything like that. So, I don't know. Okay, let's grab ourselves one of these fine, stronger eye hooks. And I'm thinking I can get all these done in one run. You know what? Maybe I should start with this guy here. Oh, man. Is this Snapshot? I used to have a Snapshot up on my shelf. I don't think I have him up there anymore. God, just touching these things is like nerve-wracking. Because I know this neck is supposed to move here. It's like, I don't know. This must be like what people in like museums have to deal with whenever they're trying to, you know, like handle really expensive artifacts and whatnot. It's got to be like, oh, don't touch that. What's up, Nico? Thanks for joining us on this. This is the first Sunday Toychanic live deal. Seeing how this works out. So far, it's good because there's people in here, so that's fine for me. As long as people showed up to just chill out, then I would consider that a success. I'm probably going to do this from now on. This is a lot easier on me, man. There's nothing worse than having to come home. Nothing worse. I'm not going to say nothing worse, but it's like it's been pretty rough. You work all day, you come home, and then it's a mad rush because I get off at 5. So once the time I get home, it's 5:30. I got to take a shower. I got to eat. And then it's like, I don't know, man. Plus, Thursdays was getting rough, man. She-Hulk's on Thursdays. I don't want to miss that. So I could tell this guy right here is crazy loose. Just because you could tell half of this thing broke off. But the crazy thing about this is that it will actually still work as is. We don't have to actually add anything to this besides some adhesive. It's just going to be thickening up this piece right here. So I'm going to do that real quick before we get into fixing these, because then we can actually have this glue drying. And I feel like I could probably put a piece of plastic on here and glue it in, but that makes me just nervous that it's going to break off, and we don't want that. I just cleaned yesterday, and so now I'm trying to, all my tools are actually put up. And I've started doing this whenever I do repairs. If they're small enough, I'll organize my figures in all these little photo cases. These things are great for, like, if you've got, it's kind of cool. For example, let's see, I've got some lying around here. Here's a crappy knockoff Crazy Ezra Miller. But it's like these like smaller import figures. You can just put them all in there. In fact, his stand's in there and everything. You can see the stand and whatnot. I'll bag up the pieces individually so no faces get banged around or marked on. Or I've got like Toychanic parts in here for like if I'm going to do like something with my Toychanic figure. It's a really cool way to organize all of your parts. I know it's nothing new, but every now and then you'll find really good deals or sales on these things. So just this really works well for organizing on my table whenever I'm trying to do a job. So let's go ahead. I'm going to use some, man, if I can get this thing to, I've been having trouble with this one here recently. I'm like trying to get every ounce of glue I can out of this before I open up a new one, and I think we might be on the edge here of this guy. There we go. There's some. There we go. I think this guy's done though. So basically what I'm going to do is just add a big chunk of this gel glue here. And this should, it's almost like it's kind of builds out. You can almost kind of build a piece of this. You could use Sculpt if you want, but this adhesive will work fine. Keep in mind, this is just a really small, normally I would want to, fix this with like a piece of plastic or whatnot. But since it already holds well, this might actually come a little easier as far as repairs go, so we don't have to, get a little more involved with this. Basically, since it already holds, it's already got a hold, even without this extra. But this might take care of that that flimsiness that we were seeing there. And It's going to take forever to dry, though, so we probably won't finish this one tonight. See if I can get one more. Try to complete the circle over here. Trying to make an actual circle out of it. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can see like where that glistening line is. That's where it starts. And so now we've got ourselves almost a full circle on there. And we'll let that dry while we're doing the rest of these repairs. I think this guy's toast, but we'll see. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. My man Chrisman's in here. I love that so much. Nico Hodge says, "What's up, Crew Maru?" Tom Fleury. I love that last name. I'm sure it's like Fleury or something, but I like to say Fleur. What's going on, Bill? Hope all is well. Had to check out your live stream. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. I'm glad that you... Was it because it's on Sunday that you actually had a chance to check it out? Because that'd be awesome. Oh, Chrissy Malone's in here. What's up? Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Maybe I'm... Probably because I haven't seen anybody in a while because, gosh, I had to, skip out on 2 streams, and I was like, man, I'm feeling crappy about that. Let's move it to Sunday because it's going to make more sense instead of just making these people wait. I don't want to make y'all wait anymore. Because I know this is what you guys wait on. It's obviously me. I'm not vain or anything. No, I did feel bad, though. I wanted you get your Toychanic fix in. And so here we are. Go through my drill bits here. Man, I had a real bad run not too long ago when I was fixing something. Dude, I broke like 3 drill bits in one night, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done tonight. I can't do this. Where are my decent drill bits? I think I cleaned too well. You ever do that? You clean too dang well, and you don't know where anything is after that? Something I've been doing here recently is really that's why I've fallen so far behind, is that I started focusing on my room because I wanted to get this place clean. I want it to be better. It's just like I have to step over a bunch of stuff, and you can see just behind me there's just a ton of junk. I say junk, but like look at that. All of this is just stuff. There's just a bunch of stuff. And so I've got my closet cleaned out for the first time in like 5 years, which is incredible. And I've got a big deal here. What would you call it? Drawer. It's like a drawer set. It's like these kind of things right here, these drawers, only it's 3 in 1. You can find them at Walmart, which I don't really suggest the ones at Walmart because a lot of times they're super cheap and they're just flimsy, but this one felt better. It's got like here, hang tight. Let me get this box off of here. I was organizing under my desk. So, it's one of these. You can see it's empty. But what I noticed, what drove me in, was this. It was like more solid on top. So when you put all that pressure on top, you can still see, it's still pretty flimsy, I think. But, I think it's because this one dropped down. I think they're supposed to actually be up top like this. They're not in the right slots. But, anyways, I'm going to put those in my closet so I can start organizing my collection. I've been having more fun with my collection lately. It's not all about the fodder and stuff like that, but also what that'll do is allow me to clean up this area around me, put this stuff in the closet to where I can access it, and start getting the repair station better equipped for repairs. So that's what's going on. It's been a pardon me. It's been a trip, I should say. Cool, I love that. All right, well, good. I'm glad that Sunday. Hey, if Sunday helped just a couple people that normally wouldn't be here, then I'm loving the Sunday already. This is awesome. I feel more energized. Even though I worked all day yesterday, it was awesome. It was a great day. I still got energy from it. Kind of Love it. I hope I pronounced your name right. I don't want to. I'm not making fun, by the way. I actually enjoy that name. So I would never make fun of anybody's name, even if I knew you. So just so you know, I think a name is important in a person. So you should get it right. You should take the time to learn a name. You know. All right. So. Let's get back to this big fella here while our crazy Spidey work over there, our waist sculpture is drying. We're going to go ahead. I'm trying to do this. This is the most awkward thing to do. I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing. We're going to drill a hole right down the center. It's a very tiny hole, but what that's going to do is get us ready for the larger drill bit. And since this has, like I said, man, this one's kind of got me nervous over here on this arm. I'm trying to figure out what broke this in the first place. Gosh, look at the range on these arms is pretty, like, it's pretty rough. Like, that's it? Yeah, that's it, because it doesn't cut any further. All right. Anyways, like I said, it looks like there's a piece of metal right here, so I'm going to try to stay off to the side and not hit it. I want to break my, you know what, since that is metal, let's go ahead and get our safety glasses, which are probably nearby. There we go. They're always at arm's reach. Always. Koopa Steve's here? What? The artist Koopa Steve is here. Even if it's Senor... Yes, Koopa Steve. If your name's Senor Floppy Cox, C-O-X, don't flag me. Then yes, let's get that name right. Ooh, that is some thin plastic, boy. Let me tell you. That just kind of broke away. Huh. Okay. Well, that's okay, because we got plenty of glue that should help that one out. Man, I think I need to order more. Oh, I did. Check it out. I did order more. These are 1.1 mil. Tiny boys. Oh, I think it's like connected with like a like a sticker. Why is a sticker on here? How am I supposed to open up these drill bits? These straight shanks. God dang. Sticker all over it. It's kind of cool. That looks like the ooze canisters from TMNT. Come on, look at these. These look like this is like special stuff here. That is not the cap. Did you see me try to put that red piece back on? The coolest thing about this is, I want to show it to you. I've got a magnetic strip. Here, let's do it. We can do this. So there's like this magnetic, oh wow, let's flip it upside down, I guess. There's a magnetic strip. So this is what's in front of me right here. And so you can actually take these shanks, bop, put them up there. This is my wall in front of me. So I get to look at. It's a bunch of on-card Aquaman, Ratchet, Donatellos, Nightcrawlers. There's my big old one. Look, there's you guys. That's you. You're over there. Look, I can see all your fun chats. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Anyways, oh yeah, over here is the Toychanic lab, which is kind of just a mess right now. Having a real bad time over here. This is just what's going on. Give you a little insight into the unorganized world of Maru. There you go. Okay, let's get back to it. So now that we got our 1.1 millimeter straight shank, we're going to go ahead and we're going to drill a bigger hole into these holes that we already made. And as soon as I find my other Dremel, god dang, I got too tired last night whenever I'd like worked all freaking day, and so at the end of it I didn't really I was bagging and boarding comics last night, and I just kind of was like, all right, I'm going to bed, and so I never got my, dang it, where's my freaking Dremel at with these keys, these awesome keys. This is my big Dremel, but you get these keys on here, and they'll work to any size bit that you put on there. And these two that are up here just so happen to be the two that do not have one of those on it. Alright, I'm going to take it off the big guy. That's weird. How do you lose a Dremel? How does one lose a Dremel? Oh my god, I dropped the key. I swear. Alright. Alright, so you unscrew it. Look at this. Key just goes right on there. And the tighter it gets, look at all the plastic that's like on this thing. It's like just, looks like an art project. We're going to take our straight shank, get it tighter, make sure once it starts tightening up here in the center. Dang, there's like a bunch of junk in there. Can't remember what I was using this on last, but it must have been a heck of a job. Alright, there we go. Alright. Pardon. So now we're going to take our piece here. I'll get to the comments in just a second, guys, if there's anything going on. Chris Jordan. Oh my gosh, Nacho's here. Dude! Like almost all my patrons are here. This is freaking awesome. Shout out to Robert Enzo. He can't be here because he works on Sundays, which I'm sorry. It's just a crime, in my opinion. Nacho! Oh, and Nacho, that's what I was telling everybody, just in case you'd missed it. After this, at 3 o'clock, I will be moving over to Discord for the Patreon chat. So, if you want to join, if you got time, please do. Man, this is actually making me a little nervous. This hole seems to just be falling apart, and I don't know if this is going to actually... Like, I know it'll screw in, but I feel like it's just going to break apart. Like, look at that. It's like... It's just kind of flimsy. Now, I know if I... I didn't expect that. Okay, so we might have to change course on this guy just a little bit. Let's see what we got in the screws here. So, what? Oh god, I just dropped the hacksaw on myself. Let's take these pieces here. Watch this. Watch this organization. Here we go. Okay. Scoots forward. Bop. Can't lose them. There we go. Those are pieces we're using. Okay, so here's what we're going to do in this situation here. This plastic here just keeps on kind of crumbling away, right? And I don't like that at all. It makes me nervous. So what I'm going to do is we're going to find a thicker screw. Now usually, you know, we're using rounded head screws to make a new peg or so. As you can see, like here, this is like a rounded head screw. Maybe you can see that, I'm not sure. It's a flat head here, I'll do it here. So rounded, this is a great example that we would use for a Marvel Legends arm peg, and then or bicep peg. And this is a flat kind of wood screw, so it'll go flat so you don't snag yourself. That's why it's for wood. But what we're going to do with this is, since it's a thicker, bigger threading, what we can do is we will drill a larger hole through this, and then we'll basically make a little bowl right here, and then this will fit flush like a wood screw does. And unfortunately, though, what you have to do, it's a little bit more work. You have to utilize a rounded burr bit to kind of, just make it to where this is going to fit flat and not going to catch on anything. Although it might not even matter in this case, but that's how I'd want to do it, just because it looks pretty. Even though you'll never see it, we will see it going in, and I think it's a little more take pride in your work kind of deal. Let's find our screwdriver here, and I'm going to just see if this will just work as we're doing this. So yeah, so this works way better. There's no flimsiness to it. For some reason, that stuff's just breaking apart. And what will happen is, once we lace this with glue, also the fact that we can put that whole screw in without cutting it off is pretty great. That's amazing. What was I saying? Once we lace this with glue, with the screw with glue, then it's going to have a nice hold here. Not to mention, we'll have an even like a double hold. Pardon. And with the adhesive on the underside of this attaching itself here. And hopefully, I just want to make sure that this is going to fit flush. Sometimes whenever these things get twisted off and they break that way, you're not sure how it's going to set, and we want to make sure this sits properly. And that's where we want it to go, right there. That's exactly it. Fits flush all the way around. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so in that case, what we'll have to do here is we're going to have to use a larger drill bit because we're using a larger screw. What's up, AG Kingsy 28? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and grab this guy here. Since we already have a hole for a guide, we can get a nice grip. Make sure you grip this thing, evenly across, like so, because if it's off-centered, it could go flying. So we don't want that. Let's go ahead and use our guided hole there. Keep in mind, we're using a much larger screw. Man, this plastic is odd. Look at that. It's just like breaking off. It's just kind of crumbling on me. I'm hoping this will go through without this thing cracking. That would not be fun. Alright, that looks like the hole's probably big enough. Alright, it goes all the way through. That's actually a perfect size hole. Wow. Alright, let's pull this back out. And just like I said before, we're going to need to basically create like a little bowl there, which we can use one of our rounded burr bits here. These things are perfect for this kind of action. And you can see, here's your burr bit. Here's your screw. And basically this is the size we want it to be going in. Maybe a little bit larger. So we're going to go ahead and get a grip on this guy again. And again, what we're doing here is creating this bowl shape in here so that when we insert the screw, the top of the head is level with the top of the peg. Go straight. Try to keep it in the center. The screw is just a little bit bigger than our burr bit, so we're going to have to kind of go in a smooth little circle. And let's see what that did. I'm going to take my razor blade here. And what I do is I'll take that. I'll kind of cut off any of this excess. Get that out of the way so we don't have any anomalies in our work. Gosh, some of that stuff just doesn't want to come out. Got a piece in there that's being stubborn. May still be attached. Sometimes that plastic kind of gnarls up on you a little bit. Man. Come on now. Just one little piece in there that just doesn't want to get out. All right. Got it. Okay, so now we're going to put our screw. We're going to try this before we go any further. All right. And now I'll show you up close here. That's what I'm talking about. So you can't see, there's the screw right there. And so we've dug this little bowl out, right? So it goes flat. I think there's a delivery happening outside right now, so you'll probably hear some dogs barking. That's Arthur. He takes care of the house. Named after the King of Atlantis, of course. And he don't let things slide around this house. Just so you know. All right. So, next and final step, we're going to go ahead and take some JB Super Weld here. Let's make sure that this thing's open. Like I said, I've been having so much trouble. I use a tiny flathead screwdriver a lot of times too. I'll just kind of dig like so. You got to be careful so you don't stab yourself at the beginning here, but trying to uncover a lot of this stuff, a lot of times what you'll have to do, look at that, there's a big chunk of nasty glue. Sometimes you have to unscrew the bottom of this thing, grab like a, I don't know, like some pliers, unscrew it, and then push it down. While that's being pushed down, like the clog of glue, you can reach up with a pin, like a tiny pin or whatever, and just kind of scrape it out. Yeah, and you can look down the, you know, obviously don't squeeze it, but you can look down. You can see if there's a, pardon me, gosh, got a tickle in my throat. There we go. Okay, so let's grab our screw here. Here's another really cool thing you can do. Check this out. Now, we're not worried about dipping glue on any of our figures we're working on. Pretty clever, if I do say so myself. So we're going to take this JB Super Weld, and we're going to start at the top of the screw, like the head of the screw. Just kind of go around it, because we don't need it on the tip of the screw right now. So we're going to go ahead and get that going in here. Since that's started, let's go ahead and grab our pliers so we get a good grip. And we also try, you don't want to ever, you want to try your hardest not to get adhesive on your skin, because it's toxic and you can develop a allergic reaction to it the more you're exposed. So you have to be very careful with this stuff. And see, I can grab this. Let's see. It's pretty good. I don't think it's as flat as it was a minute ago, but that's okay because it's not gonna touch the bottom. Where are my? There we go. I always try to keep a just scraps of paper towel nearby, so you can wipe off any excess super glue. And you don't have to wait for this to dry because it's not really going anywhere. So next, we're going to take our Spider-Man Phil Spiderman. And now we've got this kind of edged out, right? Now, what we want to do with this is, since we want to make sure that this is going to grip really well, it's going to adhere really well. So what we do is we take our adhesive, and we're going to go ahead and start going around the threading all the way around. And what's going to happen is, once this does go on, now I put a pretty liberal amount on there. And the reason why is because we want to make sure that once this connects, it's going to screw in and it's going to push that adhesive down onto that plastic, and it's going to squish all of that in to the arm, as you can see here. I'm trying to keep, I want you to see it, but I also don't want this adhesive to just kind of go everywhere. There we go. Make sure it's even. That's a little off-centered. There we go. Just like that. And since it's squished all of that adhesive down, we don't actually want it to dry with it all pushed out like that. The whole point was so it makes a solid contact, and then we can take our scrap of paper here, grab like so. You don't want to leave it on it, but just kind of wipe around the edges, so that kind of pushes it back into the seam. And now we just allow this guy to dry. You can see right there. Got a nice peg. All we'll have to do is heat this guy up right here, pop it back on, and it'll be good to go. But we got to let that glue dry, just like our other Spider-Man over here, who's probably going to be drying for a while. Whenever you add that much, like if you add that much glue to it, it also will tends to contract a little bit as well. So this piece right here is going to take probably a couple hours, because essentially what you're doing is you're just adding a ton of glue to a bit to essentially build something, which generally the smarter option in that would probably be to sculpt it. But like I said, we didn't need that adhesive, and what I'd rather not do is add a bunch of adhesive, try to twist it and tighten that piece, because keep in mind what we're doing on that figure there is these broke apart. This seems like a simple repair, but really when it comes down to it, when you have to reattach these guys right here, you really have to make sure that the hold is incredibly strong. And this JB Super Weld stuff is amazing. This stuff will work really well. So will this Loctite Super Glue Gel, or whatever, the Ultra Gel Hold Control. But yeah, so what it allows you to do is you can almost sculpt, quote unquote, with the gel. So it allowed us to kind of, fill in what was missing here, while also I tend to press it over the top that was missing, so it kind of forms a bond here, not just on the side, to where it could, I doubt it would snap off, but it could. If any of that makes sense to y'all, I hope it does. Essentially, we just made an other half of that circle with glue, with gel. Use the gel glue. Okay. Spider-Man numero 3. Let's see here. What we got? Looks like a film Spider-Man. Looks like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. What's up, Goober? My man Goober's in the house. Man, I always ask myself how something like that breaks in that way. Chrisman, I'll never know, man. Sometimes, I don't know. A lot of those old Toy Biz figures, they just had, over time, they had like the plastic gets real brittle. Something crazy happened the other day. So I have all of my Daredevil figures up top, and I'm afraid to take them down right now because I'm pretty sure a few of them are going to be ruined. The other night, I'll actually show you this. This is crazy. I'll show you an example of what happens if you leave your figures in the sunlight, since this thing isn't really worth much. So here is this one's so bad. So bad. So the paint isn't messed up on this one. This is a Showdown, what was it? The Superhero Showdown Elektra. Okay? This was bought brand new, opened out of the box, and, you know, put her in this crazy pose. This is her stand, right? So, and I'm just going to do this for y'all because this happened the other day. The plastic here is now that. It is, and that might not seem much to you, okay? So here's the bigger plastic. Nothing. It baked in the sun to the point where every single one of my Daredevil stands, like, broke. They broke off. One actually broke right here. I could probably break this in half, too, but I'm not gonna. I'm try to keep that. But yeah, so that's what happens there, man. Just kind of shatters, dude. Like, there it went. Piece just flew off. It got me in the eyeball. So that's what happens when you leave your figures near a window in the sunlight. That's what can happen. Right there. Yeah, it's crazy brittle. Like, just fingertip brittle. What's up, Rocker Josh? Says it's super late, but I made it. Hi, Bill. Hope you're great. Actually, I hope you're all doing great. Always bringing the positivity. Thank you, Rocker Josh, my man. Yeah, after this, we're going to be going into the Discord for a Patreon exclusive chat. If anybody here wants to join the Patreon, it's down below. I will be, kind of a cool announcement. Got a really good response, like surprisingly good response. I'm going to be offering repair classes coming up soon. And basically, I'll try to figure out times that work for people. This will not be a Sunday only thing. I'm going to try to tune it to the best possible time for people to join. Pardon. And so there'll be, I think I said $35 a class. And I'm going to have 5 people per class. I don't want more than 5. Less is fine, but I don't want more than 5. I want to make sure I can pay attention to everybody and everybody feels like they got something for that. And chances are it'll be an hour-long class. If we finish before an hour, then I'll stick around for the full hour to any Q&A or answer any questions and whatnot. But it'll be for specific repairs. And so what I would want is people can either join in if they bought it. Like I'll basically putting up tickets for this to sign up for. And if you're part of the Patreon, depending on what tier you're part of, you'll get $5, $10, or $15 off of these classes. I think it seemed people really responded to this well. They said I was being too cheap, but I don't care. So that's really, really cool. Like I said, if you want to be part of the Patreon, down below. I'm not gonna lie, I don't offer like a bunch of crazy stuff right now. I think for the highest tier, I said you could get like one of my masks. That'll come with the little Bill Maru Toychanic mask. If you haven't seen these, for a long time, I was offering these for like, I think it was like $15 or something, or $20 if they were painted. But like, here's like a little cool 3D printed mask, printed by my man Anthony Martosio. He goes by A Marto on Instagram. He's awesome, really, really cool guy. And so yeah, yeah. Kingsy, what figure do I have of yours that I'm going to be repairing? I've got a lot. But yeah, like I said, if you guys got a little extra scratch burning a hole in your pocket and you want to support the Patreon, you can just go to patreon.com/BillMaru, and yeah, you pay me. You pay me the monies. Okay, let's get back to this. So this is a Tobey Maguire figure, and obviously this neck has broken off of here. I'll have to heat this up and see what's going on. Let's see what's going on here. So we'll grab this with some pliers. Send over the Miles and Amazing Spider-Man. It should be arriving tomorrow. Nice, man. Cool. Yeah, I have so many figures to fix. It's stupid right now. I'm actually doing this stream specifically for a client who's been waiting for a while. I would do it for my... There's another figure I'm going to be fixing today as well, which I'll probably be working on after the stream on the Patreon chat. God, it's a mess. I basically have to make a new peg, like a crazy peg for it, and it's gonna be ugh, it's not fun. Okay, I might need to heat this up a little more. I don't want to stretch. You don't know what's gonna happen with this old Toy Biz plastic, man. I'm telling you. Heat it up. Heat this guy up. That should be good. See if I can't get a grip here. Pop this out. God dang. There's a tiny hole in that head. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Let's see what the problem is. So we've got... This broke off. Looks like there's a metal piece in here. Let's see if this will pop out. If this is even connected to anything. I don't want to break it. Oh, is this hard? Oh, it's hard plastic. Ugh. Oh, no wonder it's like... Why would they do this? There's a freaking... There's like a notch that's been put in here, which is super unnecessary. Probably stops the head from turning, but you want that head to turn. This is something I'll do for free for a lot of my clients. A lot of times, if they send me a Mezco figure to fix, if I have to fix a wrist, I'll go ahead and shave down the pegs on the wrist pegs on both hands, so it doesn't happen to them again on either of them. So that'll smooth that out, so that head will turn around and it won't break again. Man, what is in here? It looks almost like... I'm trying to look inside here. What looks like we'd have to do is almost split this in half, because it's a plastic piece. It's a hard plastic piece. God, I always bite off more than I can chew on a freaking Toy Biz figure. Drives me crazy. Man, this sucks. These dang Toby figures, man, I swear. I don't know. It must be nostalgia or something, because most of these things are just not... I don't know. It's got to be a nostalgia thing. I'm not really a big Tobey Maguire Spider-Man guy, so I don't know. And I grew up in the right time with it, but I don't know. To each their own. I will not judge. I did like the new... I like that new Spider-Man movie that had him in it. That was fun. So what I'm thinking that I've got to do here is... I'm going to have to split this neck with a razor blade all the way down. It's been heat. This has been like heat pressed or whatever, like the old ones did. And it looks to me like... I don't know if you'll even be able to see it in there. See if I can get the right angle. Man, I don't know how good that's going to show up, but there's a screw like in there. I wonder if I could do this. Let's turn it right. Oh, there you go. See it? There's like a screw in there or something. It's like a metal peg or something. What's the most expensive figure you've worked on? I'm assuming you're meaning monetary value wise, because there's some that I've like fixed that were like, you know, somebody's relative that has passed on gave it to them, and it's like, man, I don't know, you can't really put a price on that one, but I know there's one that's like been one of the bane of my existences is this. I'm still you guys I've had this for months. I know it's been months, and luckily the client is probably one of the coolest clients I've had, and just I don't know. They're so chill, and they're just like, I trust you. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. All I need to figure out is how to open this stupid thing out so I can get this piece out, and we can figure out how to fix this thing. This is a very expensive figure. This is a very, very, very expensive figure. Very expensive. So, I don't know, man. I've worked on statues. I've worked on stuff. Like, some things were like up to... Oh, God. Like, I've worked on prototype figures before. It's crazy. So, I'm not sure, man. I don't know. It's definitely probably $1,000 to more, or action figures usually reach up into the hundreds. 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I don't really know. It's to me, it's like, you know, that it is important to know that it generally doesn't really affect my price. It just really, the job affects the price. Like, what do I have to do? How brittle is the plastic? Yada, yada, all that. So, I don't know what the most expensive one I've ever repaired, though, was. I have no idea. Probably, it'd have to be like a statue, I would think. Because, I don't know. Some of these figures do get up there, though. Some of these figures get crazy expensive. So, I'm not sure. I do like, man, one dude did send me, this was like back whenever it was really hard to get like a Goku figure, and it was an SDCC figure, and this poor guy, man, he asked me, like, we were playing like 40 questions. He's like, all right, so you can do this, and you're sure about this, and you're sure. He's like, I'm so sorry, I'm just really nervous. I was like, I get it, dude. You're sending a stranger a figure that you only could get at a freaking Comic-Con. It's like the best version of that character currently, and something had broke on it. I had to crack his pants, and it was crazy. There you go. Bill Maru Toychanics, cracking pants. That's not what I want. I don't want. That's not what I want to be known for. Man. Yeah. God, this one's gonna suck. I think it's just going to be one of those ones that take a while to do. I got to be really careful because I'm, using a razor blade, but also I'm cutting hard plastic. So what I got to make sure I do is follow this seam all the way down. And I can't, man, normally I would hammer this, but I can't because this piece right here is encased in hard plastic. I might be able to hammer it like right here. So generally what you can do is you can kind of grip it here. It's in there, and you kind of go from the side here. Try not to hit your fingers. Make sure that you're following the seam. A lot of times it will follow the seam, but you can easily, get off track. You can tell that's not hitting it correctly. We're in the right spot. It's just, I had a good thing going there though. We got pretty far down. You can just tell though, man, whenever you're hammering, you can tell if it's on the right spot or not. This is going pretty well. I hope that was in camera. I'm sorry guys. Sometimes I get a little too focused on the repair. I don't look up to see if that's in the camera view. Kind of, I can feel it just, it's off-centered. I hate it when it does that. What'll happen though, is chances are I'll be able to crack this open. This is actually going very well. I know, I'm sure it might be confusing to some of you. But what'll happen is we'll be able to crack one side. That's a solid hit right there. That's a solid hit. You always want to make sure that it's not like flimsy or off to the side, or that I can tell is that's a solid hit right there. Right in the center. Oh, now we're off center. Dang it. Not sure how far this thing's in. This is one of those ones. It's not really exciting to watch, I know, but this is one of those tougher repairs. I didn't expect this. I thought it was going to be like, I thought this was a softer plastic. We could heat up the broken off peg, just like we did with that Spider-Man arm a minute ago. And, you know, I have a bad feeling that this has a spring in it. Take that, wrestling hound, taking names and cracking pans. I don't know how to say that name. I don't speak that language, but heart and claps, I'll take it all day. Thank you. There is a freaking spring in here. Side note, guys, here's something that I don't like. Springs. I don't like working with springs. I don't like them. I don't like them. I do not like them. I think my favorite, you're saying who's your favorite Spider-Man if not Tobey? If you mean live action, probably I guess Andrew Garfield. But in total, I really like the Spider-Man from the What If zombie episode. Like, that was awesome. And I'm pretty sure the guy that voiced him is on an episode of I Think You Should Leave, and that just makes me so happy. The fact that She-Hulk has had 2 I Think You Should Leave alumni members is just making me love that show even more. I love it. Okay, so now we got to be a little more careful in here, because I'm pretty sure what we're about to open up is a housing to a freaking spring. Oh, this is why, man, I swear every Toy Biz Spider-Man had to have a dang spring in him. That makes no sense. Yeah, that What If was awesome, man. I love that show so much. It's super fun. I went back through and watched every episode again the other day. There it is. There's the spring. And I love that show. I love Captain Carter so much. It's not even funny. And there it is. There's a stupid spring in here. Okay, hang on. Where did this come from? Okay, so the spring was down like so. I think this was down like this. Yeah, it was. Alright, hang on. Let me take a picture of this just in case. God dang it. Ugh! This just made the project, like, just way harder. Hey, how we doing? You want to wake up? Wake up. Wake up, phone. Thanks. Okay, when dealing with a string. Oh my god. This is a whole other stream, dude. It's 3 o'clock. Well, we tried. No, seriously, this, dang it, this sucks, man. I hate dealing with springs so much. So, what we have here is, we're going to make sure it doesn't fly off the handle here. This little piece, the screw, it's a screw, it's definitely a screw. This tiny little screw holds that spring in, and was in this guy right here. And I don't even think, I'm trying to figure out if this broke. Let's see. So it looks like this little neck piece right here goes down like so. There's a spring on this here. And then you take this, the spring and the screw, And where is my... Here we go. Let's get ourselves a screwdriver out. That'll help. Make sure it doesn't go flying, because that would be a bloody nightmare. And there you go. So I guess this is the... I still to this day have no idea why they do this thing. Why they did this. I just don't know what to, I really don't know what to say. I hate dealing with springs. So what'll happen is this piece scoops up under this guy right here, which you can lift up. There's a flathead screwdriver. Take a flathead screwdriver, and this lifts up like so. Like this piece right here. God, it's so hard to do. Because it's a spring and it likes to pop back. There's that. So what looks like actually what happened, I don't think anything actually broke on here. I think what happened was the screw... Yeah, because there's nothing broke here. So what happens was it looked like the screw just came unscrewed. Literally, just came unscrewed here. So, with that being said, what we would need to do is probably just put some adhesive on the screw and screw it in here all the way to the bottom, like just screw it all the way in, allow that to dry, and then reattach the neck. So this actually might be the easiest spring job that I've had to deal with. Most of these suck. Like, usually, man, I the one project I wouldn't do again ever. You'd have to you'd have to pay me in the triple digits in order to do this. The 18-inch super articulate Tobey Maguire Spider-Man figure. If that waist breaks, I did it for this mom who had sent it to me, and I didn't know what I was in for, and she sent it to me, and you guys, a lot of you guys have heard this story 1,000 times, but it's like, man, I did it right here too. I was sweating. That thing took me like a week, which I know I said I've had this one for months because I'm trying to figure it out. This one was like, it's like flashbacks right now. Like I can see it. Like there it is. I can still see myself fixing this thing. It made me like crazy. Made me want to go nuts. It was just a hard job. It was a very, very, very hard job dealing with springs because I couldn't crack open the torso on it. Like just how you saw me just now a minute ago cut this thing with a razor blade is essentially what I needed to do with this figure because a piece broke off of the underside, the abdomen kind of deal, which happens with a couple of Toy Biz figures, one being the Maestro Hulk. The spring broke through the plastic. Like the plastic wasn't strong enough. You would think that something else would have broke. No, it's the plastic. You'd bend him and it popped that hard plastic right off. And so with this Spider-Man, what I would have had to have done is like cut him completely open, reattach. I had to build a whole apparatus for this. Like I rebuilt this crazy spring mechanism, which I need to repost just as like a reminder of what I had to go through on there. It was nuts. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting project, or I guess process, I should say, here. We've got to put this screw back in, and I'm adding adhesive to the tip here. I think that was a little much. Let me kind of wipe some of this off. I'm going to try to keep it not really... I don't want it to touch the spring a whole lot. You know, we don't want to glue the spring down, but I imagine it's not going to affect it too bad. So what we'll do is we're going to take the spring, we're going to put it on the neck first. Let's see if we can't press this down a little bit, and then insert the screw. Wow, Houston, we have a landing. Okay, so now we let that sit. And like I said, we've already put our little plastic piece on here. What will happen is I'll lift this up with something. Sometimes you can take like almost like a forked piece and kind of put it under there and then you'll slide this in and you pull that forked piece out, and then it keeps that that spring taut. Although I don't think we'll need to do that. This is pretty scooped out right here. That's an issue that you can run into, is maybe it's flat or something like that. That's what I ran into with that other one, and I was like, I'm gonna die. But so now, once again, we gotta let glue dry. That's all this is, this whole freaking stream. But I think this might be good to go. So let's get one figure completed, and then we'll I'm gonna take my repairs over to the Patreon chat. For those of you who are Patreons, we will be in the Discord chat. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Darth G, what's up, man? Glad you're here. Sorry, it's about to be over. I'm only doing hour-long streams right now, man. I'm just to keep myself healthy. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna heat this guy up. And this plastic's pretty, I'm not gonna say cheap, it's just light. It's got a pretty nice scoop, it looks like, already in there, so we can, looks like there's some weird adhesive. Oh yeah, this is really soft, it's super soft. Okay, so here's our piece we did earlier. Let's go ahead and, oh man, wow, that was awesome. That was great. There we go. You notice there's a little gap right here, but there's a gap right here, so that's actually how it's supposed to be, so don't think that I'm tripping over here. Nice and smooth while still retaining a nice bit of tension. Yeah. Yeah, right on. So that's good. Now that I'm thinking about it, this right here, letting the glue dry on this guy, the only reason I'm letting that glue dry a little more is because I don't want to like try to make that spring tighter and it pop up. Something I should probably do before I reattach everything is, first off, you always want to test to make sure that your neck is going to close up properly. Another thing I should do is go ahead and put this neck piece back into the head. That way, whenever we go to reattach it, we don't have to add any extra risks, I would say. But like, you know, you don't want to have to try to push this head down on this peg, since, dude, this is like, it goes in really far, and gosh, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to go about this is. So I feel like it'd be better to go ahead and put the head on here. That way, whenever we go to close this, because when we close this up, basically we're going to scoop this under like so. We're going to put this on like this, and then you're going to close it up. So, okay, yeah, that was my question. My concern was, how far does this stick out? That's really far out, so this shouldn't be a problem at all. In fact, it might be better because we could put the head on first like this, and it'll keep this a little more secure for whenever we do attach this with glue. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna go ahead and reattach this Spidey head. We might actually be able to finish this. I'm gonna go a little longer than I planned on, which is normal. What we want to do, we're gonna heat up the Spidey head. What I like to do is I like to take like a screwdriver, and with my heat gun, I'll just kind of go around, get it softened up. Nice and hot. All right, let's see what we got here. Careful, don't touch your screwdriver. It's going to be really hot. Okay, so head feels nice and squishy. Let's go ahead and grab we can grab our peg like so from the side. Well, maybe we can't. God, it goes so far in. Maybe we can just press it in with our thumb. It's like, that's such a tiny hole. There it goes. Oh, God dang. Look at that divot in my thumb. Jeez. Okay, that's all the way in. Let's see. What's the front of the neck look like? I'm pretty sure these things split on the sides, not in the front or back. There's a divot here, so maybe that's the front of the neck. Looks like it's bent. I feel like the neck would scoop in the back, so yeah, something like this. Okay, so we're gonna put our head in like so. I think we want the back of the head to be open. It looks like that's going to be the easier spot to kind of slide that in. And we're going to try to see if we can't get this peg to sit down properly. There we go. You can see that peg. Got it in like so. Okay. So now this is the tricky part right here. What you want to do is we want to first, oh man, because now we're dealing with, not only are we dealing with glue, but we're dealing with glue and springs, stuff that we just now set up. So you want to kind of see if we can't scoop this in. Oh, look at that, it worked. I just gotta, I don't know, I got a feeling that I shouldn't have put this head on first. Because I feel like this is going to be, yeah, we're going to have to take that head out. The reason why, oh man, dang it. The reason why is because it actually went in further than I expected. And what will happen is when we go to try to put all this stuff in, and you're dealing with adhesive as well, it's just going to be a mess. You're going to end up getting something all over you. There we go. Let's take this peg out. Dang it. So hopefully if our adhesive holds the way it's supposed to. The reason I was trying that was I thought it might hold it in place, but what's actually going to happen, it's going to cause a problem for us. If we were to try to lace this with super glue and then try to keep the head on, when you go to press this in, keep this in mind. If this is laced with super glue or this is laced with super glue, and you're trying to, you know what I mean, try to get this around one peg and then fold it under this peg, it's a mess. It's a nightmare. You don't want that. What's up, T-Dog? Man, it's always cool to see a familiar, friendly face. So what we've done here is, since we have the screw in already and the spring, and it looks like this will work really well for us. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go and see if, looks like our glue is still good. We're going to be real careful here and make sure that we only get this on the spots that need the glue. God, I hate it when it just won't dip down in there. Come on. There we go. Okay. You want to be careful because once this stuff squishes out, you don't want to put too much on there, right? Because you do that, then it can affect the entire point of the articulation. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going through with my flathead screwdriver and just running it across the seams that we need it to fit on. Okay, now next what we're going to do is we're going to take our peg, set it here if we can, carefully, because we don't want it to fall off. And then let's quickly, man, that was kind of crazy. Wow, that fit really nice. Okay, so what I do now, I'll show this to you in just a second. Hang tight. I've got a vise over here. And what I've done is I have outfitted it with, let's see right here. Let's see if I can show it to you. Where's my hand? Oh God, it's upside down, I wonder. Okay, hang on. Don't get sick. Don't get sick. Let me change the lighting. All right. So right here is what we're doing. Let's see if I can bring the camera closer to it. I don't know how long this cable is. Oh, there it is. We're back. Nice. Okay, there we go. So that right there is table sliders that I have put on either side of the vise, so I can actually clamp something in there like so, and it won't break the plastic. And so that'll keep that nice and tight. And what you can do while that's in there, man, that's awesome that the thing works. What you can do is you can kind of go in and clean up any of the excess glue that might have split out as well, because a lot of times once you squeeze that thing, it's like all comes out the ends. So with that being said, I think that will conclude today's Toychanic Sunday Live, the first ever Toychanic Sunday Live. We're definitely going to do these from now on. I'm not sure if they'll always be at the same time, but if this time works, it works. You know, if I've got something planned, we might do it later or earlier, but 2 o'clock seemed to be pretty safe. I know everybody's pretty much out if they go to church on, you know, in California. Then they could be eating lunch and, you know, watching me repair some toys if they wanted to. But we're still going to wait for this guy to dry. This is going to be, like I said, this guy's going to probably take another hour or two, maybe 3, who knows. I'm just going to forget about it until I remember it, and then we'll fix it. But thank you guys so much for showing up today for the first ever Sunday Toychanic Live. Really appreciate it. For my Patreons, we're going to move on over to the Discord, and we'll video chat it up. I got lots of other things to work on, so we'll be doing that. If you want to be a part of the Patreon, then you can do the link. There's not even a link. You can just type that in, patreon.com/BillMaru, and we'll invite you to the video chats and Discord and discounts and stuff like that. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for joining. Take care of yourself out there. And remember, as you can see, super glue and the impossible take just a little longer. Love you guys. Take care.